Many Ram fans, and of course NFL fans as a whole, are wondering when will cornerback Jalen Ramsey be traded from the Miami Dolphins. By all accounts, it seems that Jalen Ramsey wants a trade and does not want to play for the Dolphins again. And Mike Florio in this clip here has some interesting speculation that I would like your opinions on in the comments below. I'll give mine after I play the clip.
The Dolphins will be replacing Jalen Ramsey with presumably draft picks if and when the trade is done.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me earlier today, I was on the Score in Chicago, if and when a Ramsey trade will happen. And because the news first came out middle of April that the Dolphins were going to move on from Ramsey, even though they made him the highest paid player at his position.
Shout out, Florio. You got a nice kitchen that you're podcasting from.
September of last year. 7 months later, it's a mutual parting of the ways. I thought a deal would be done right after June 1. That's when the cap hit can be spread over 2 years. It didn't happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of NFL fans thought this trade would be done by now, but here we are, June 18th at the recording of this video, and nothing. I know Jalen Ramsey has been spotted in Los Angeles a few times, including working out at UCLA, but I don't know if that's enough to fuel Jalen Ramsey getting traded back to the Rams.
Here we are at June 18. It hasn't happened. I assume that something's going to happen right around the time training camp opens, but who knows? And it dawned on me when I was thinking about this. In 2021, Deshaun Watson sat out the entire season. And it wasn't because he wanted to. It wasn't because the Texans wanted him to. They were trying to trade him. And coincidentally, he was almost traded to the Dolphins. Right around Labor Day weekend, there was strong buzz that a deal was going to get done that would have sent Watson to Miami. It didn't happen. Close to the trade deadline, it kind of kicked up again. It didn't happen. The Texans ended up paying Deshaun Watson not to play at all in 2021. Could we have that happen with Jalen Ramsey and the Dolphins? It would be a 1 week at a time thing. But week 1, week 2, not traded, doesn't play, gets paid. Week 3, week 4, week 5, doesn't play, gets paid, no trade. Right up until the Tuesday after week 9. And then if it doesn't happen then, he gets paid more than $20 million on top of the $4 million he's already gotten from the Dolphins to not play.
I appreciate Mike Florio. I know some people can get frustrated with some of his hot takes, including myself. But whenever it comes to player contracts, I actually appreciate him and his takes, his opinions, his expertise, because he used to be a lawyer. And I think he actually does a pretty good job breaking it down. And he is speculating here, but I'm okay talking about it. And again, let me know in the comments below. Is there a scenario where Jalen Ramsey does not get traded? Is that possible? Right? Is it so far-fetched that Jalen Ramsey has said, I'm not playing with the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins are like, you know what? We're not, paying your salary, and no one's giving us a trade that we want to, accommodate a trade. So it's in our interest to just have you sit out, right? Like, I don't know. Like, is that a scenario? But Florio goes on to say.
And what the Dolphins have to decide is how much of his contract are they willing to pay to get whatever they want for him.
Yeah.
And the more the Dolphins pay of that $20 million, the more that they'll get. Yeah. Now, if they end up de facto paying that money by keeping him into the season, that becomes a factor because the new team doesn't get full value for him this year. The best thing to do is reach a deal before training camp. Okay. The problem is if the Dolphins don't have multiple teams trying to get Ramsey, where's their leverage?
Yep.
Your best leverage, and I've said this time and again, but it bears repeating, as it relates to anything that you are trying to sell or trade, your best leverage is, I'm good. Yeah. I'll keep it. Oh, you only want to pay me $50,000 for my car? I'll keep it.
If anyone sold something on Facebook Marketplace, you know what I mean. you know what he means.
Keep it. No, I'm fine. I'll keep it. I don't have to trade it to you. I'll keep it. The Dolphins don't have that option. And I don't know that they would have been able to finagle the sense that they're trying to keep or willing to keep Jalen Ramsey, but That ship has sailed. Yeah. He said his goodbyes on social media. He wasn't there for mandatory minicamp. I'd be stunned if he's at training camp. I think they'll pay him to stay away. Now, maybe they'll let him come to training camp and have his own workout schedule and not really be around the team. Now, he has to be on board with that. If he wants to be there at practice, if he thinks that puts pressure on the Dolphins to make a trade, he could say, I want to be there for everything. I want to play. I will be here until you get rid of me, if he thinks that will expedite the process. But he's got the same agent as Deshaun Watson. We saw what happened in 21. Mm-hmm. The player stayed away. The team was fine with it. And they went through a whole season of Deshaun Watson being on the team, but not getting paid. That can happen with Jalen Ramsey. Watch, he'll be traded today. That's probably how it goes. All I'm saying is this is what could happen. And the fact that we're 18 days into June, it has to be on our radar screen at this point that maybe the Dolphins won't be able to get the trade they want, and maybe they'll have to carry him into the regular season. And once that happens, who knows how long he'll be there in 2025. Who knows how long Trey Henderson.
So anyway, he goes on to talk about Trey Henderson, linked to his full episode of Pro Football Talk below. I'm not ready to give up on Jalen Ramsey becoming a Los Angeles Rams player again. I think that there are a lot of benefits to that trade happening for the Rams and for Ramsey. Like he is someone he's an older player in terms of, where he's at in his career. I've heard some people say like, oh, he should transition to safety and stuff. I don't know if that's going to happen with Jalen Ramsey. He is owed a lot of money. And I think if you're, a Miami Dolphins fan, you're like, what, we want as much value as possible for him. Is there an argument to, okay, like we'll pay a chunk of his salary as long as that gets us a better draft pick? Like, because if they're just going to pay him to not play, I don't see that being the best path forward to them unless they're really not getting any, decent trade offers coming their way. And it could be that there's just a lot of teams out there that don't want to give up draft capital to draft a veteran corner like Jalen Ramsey. So I'm curious how this plays out. Like Florio said, that maybe by making a video like this, that'll trigger a trade, right? They're like, people are talking about it. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm personally, I'm tired of headlines of like mega Jalen Ramsey update and stuff, because the reality is, like, besides having Sean McVay and Les Snead kind of comment on it a couple weeks ago, we don't know anything, right? Like, I do think the Rams are players in this Jalen Ramsey trade battle that's going on, but I think there's a couple of layers to it, right? You have the Dolphins and Ramsey, you have other teams and the Dolphins. Ramsey, does he want to go to those teams, right? Right? And ultimately, this does kind of come back to the Dolphins giving him that massive contract last year that's kind of put them in this situation. And whatever it is that Jalen Ramsey doesn't want to play for the Dolphins anymore, like that's another kind of barrier in here. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I still think he gets traded, but I enjoy a good amount of NFL offseason speculation that Mike Florio did. Bravo, a great job, and that's really all you can expect for NFL coverage in June about speculative trade rumors featuring your favorite players. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Feel free to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. This is the Rams Radar, and I'm Peo Time. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Woo!